We are so sorry for this glitch. We're trying to fix it. Trying to find when it's coming ready. Okay, I think I need to start again. I think I need to start again. We are all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My sincere apology for the glitch. I'm so sorry for the interruption, guys. So I was trying to share my personal story on how I ventured into freelancing, but I can see that we've spent far too much time. So I'm just going to make that brief so we can continue, right? So if you're just joining us, or if this started being clearer to you, okay. So I went into freelancing because my 9 to 5 work. So I saw freelancing as a way out because I felt I will be in control of my time. I will have to work for as many clients as I can, and I can build a business from freelancing just so that I have a sustainable income, right? So that was my personal reason why I ventured into freelancing. Okay, so according to recent reports, the global freelancing economy is valued at over $1.5 trillion. And more than 50% of our Gen Zs and millennials like us are choosing freelancing over traditional jobs. I don't know if anyone have noticed that. Please leave your. If you can hear me, let me know. Okay. Over 50% of Gen Zs and millennials are choosing freelancing over traditional jobs. That is so common. That is so common, but I'm not surprised if there is anybody here or out there that still don't know what freelancing is and do not know how freelancing works, right? So with AI, automation, and remote work, there's a rise in demand in freelancing, right? And I don't think everybody should still make freelancing an alternative at this point, right? Because it's the future. And as virtual assistants, the virtual assistant industry is a growing one with multi-billion-dollar into a multi-billion-dollar industry in 2030. So tonight we are diving straight into real stories of experts who have experienced freelancing. They are going to share with us their stories, their proven strategies, the practical steps they have actually mastered, and all they know to guide you to building your freelance career into a sustainable business. So whether you are new into freelancing, you're just thinking of joining freelancing, or you're already an expert in freelancing, this webinar is for you. It will be beneficial to you. So sit tight, open your ears, open your heart. You can have your notepads with you to take notes so you don't leave here empty. Feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, and your thoughts, your views in the comment section. They will be very important. So we are addressing your situation right on. So before we continue, please, I would like us to subscribe to this channel so we don't miss out on any events of this nature and information like this. We can also share this live to our friends, to our family members, and anybody we think it will be important to. So I'm not going to waste any much time. Let me go on to introduce our first guest for tonight. Before I continue, please let me be sure I am not talking to myself. Somebody let me know if you guys can hear and see me. Let me know if you can hear and see me. You can do that in the community group. Okay. So I just got a notification that you can hear and see me, so we will move on. So today we will kickstart with our first speaker for tonight. Someone who embodies startup growth and mentorship. Ndifon Emmanuel is the founder of Easy Plan Limited and Planify Business School. And in 2025 alone, he has mentored 45 startups from skills and your services to people across the globe, making you an influential person. So without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Emmanuel Ndifon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear your perspective on building freelancing like a real business. So the floor is yours. You can go on.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for doing this. I really appreciate your effort so far. This is a very big one because we that are into the freelancing space, I've seen a lot of people that are really broke and doing freelancing business, despite the opportunities that are out there. So this will be an eye opener to many persons that are yet to come into the understanding of what freelance is and how they can leverage the opportunities that are tied under freelance. So it's a very big issue that no one has ever talked about. Why are freelancers broke, and why are they struggling despite they have a lot of skills on their disposal? So it's a good one coming up with this. And for the audience, I think you're going to learn a lot. This is not only from my own end. We are having a conversation. So we have a lot of experts that's here. In one field or the other. So you can always listen to our story, and also the floor will be open to ask your questions and contribute. This is a very important section that we are about to go into. So I will urge you to share the link, invite other persons that are not available here so that they can join us as well. So I will go straight up into a presentation. But before then, I want to know if you can all hear me, because I know we're having some network issue. So if you can me, please let me know in the comment section, or those of us at this other end, you can let me know if I'm loud and clear, if they can see me, if they can see my handsome face, then we can go on from here. Can you all hear me? Okay, I think so. Let me just assume you can all hear me. So I will take it up from here.
Okay,
Okay.
Emmanuel, let's be sure that they can hear you.
Okay.
Let's be sure that they can hear you.
Okay, I'll wait.
So guys, please, if you can hear Mr. Emmanuel, please just react. You can make use of the community or the comment section. Okay, you can go ahead. They can see and hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, this conversation is about a mind shift of what freelance really is, and how we can navigate and come up with a solution to the problem we are facing in the freelance industry. So every one of us here, as I said, we are already an expert. And I have little contribution to make. Then whenever there's question, you let me know, that we can take it up from there. First of all, I want to let you to understand that before or at the end of this conversation, you should have three things that you will do for me. So if you have your notepad, or if you have your paper and your pen, what you do for me is to jot down these 3 points I'm going to mention. Number one is this: at the end of this conversation, you divide your note into 3. The first part of the note will be what you will stop doing as a freelancer. Number 2 will be what you will start doing. Then number 3 will be what are the strategies that you have learned at the end of this conversation that you'll put into implementation to start doing. So at the end of the day, if my own part cannot cover the strategies that are in place for you to work with, so you have to ask questions so that we can give you those strategy on board, because the main aim of this webinar or this conversation we are having solutions at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I repeat myself, the first thing you should do is, what are you going to start doing? Second, what will you stop doing? Third, what are the strategies that you have put in place that will help you or aid your freelancing job or freelancing business? That is what we'll be looking at. First of all, I would like to talk about my own philosophy and our reality as a people. First of my own is the fact that clarity, as we know it, is not knowing. Clarity is doing, or clarity is action. So the only proof that you are clear after this webinar is that you are taking action. If you can't take action, it means that you are not clear. That's the first point I want us to establish. I repeat, clarity is not knowing. Clarity is taking action. The only proof that you are clear is that you are taking action for a particular thing. So any day you start taking action, that is when your clarity comes. But any day, no matter what is preached to you or being taught to you at the end of the day, if there's no action, that means you don't understand. That is what I want us to clarify first. Secondly, there's another statement that says, let the sleeping dog lie. And most times, I would say that if we allow the sleeping dog to lie, which is true, but we should not allow the dog to lie by our side. Now, my reason is that if you allow the dog to lie by your side and the dog is dreaming, maybe in a dream world, and in the dream world, the dog is eating bone and maybe rejoicing and laughing. When the dog now gets up and discover that it was a dream, and the reality shows that it's your leg that is closer to him, or to the dog rather, to eat. At the end of the day, you're going to eat your leg. So what I'm trying to point out in this point is that the way technology is going, you don't need to receive knowledge and hoard the knowledge. What you already know is already late. So any knowledge you have on ground now, you have to take action. AI is innovating. A lot of industry are innovating. That's why today there are some freelance that are not making money. It's not because they don't have the skill, but because AI has taken their job away from them. So if you are whatever you are learning now or today, you have to take it to action immediately. Now, number 3, we establish that the sky is too big for two birds to collide. So if you say, okay, it's my idea, no problem, another person can have that same idea to run, and therefore we become lack on what we were supposed to do. So as this conversation is that the sky is not too big for two birds to collide. Why I'm saying this is because the owner of Facebook, the owner of WhatsApp, Instagram, and Trend belongs to one person. So if the birds are too big or the sky is too big for two birds to collide, at least you could have shared that to another person. So whatever knowledge you are having here is for you to take action immediately. Now, fourthly, we are going to our conversation gradually, is that the new technology in a whole has defined us in many ways, especially in the way that we work. In the last 10 years, or in the past 10 years, freelancing job was not so pronounced, but the advance of technology has made freelancing to be very pronounced. So today, you can do anything online. You can have, in fact, there are so many, the most expensive companies on earth presently now, they were built online. That means that the internet has defined.
Mr. Were, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Your network was bad for a while, and I'm sure many people didn't get your line of thoughts, your previous line of thoughts. I don't know if you can reiterate a little backward, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it good now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, for the sake of this conversation, I will start with the last thought. Maybe later on, if there's time, because I don't have time based on what the time that was given to me. Now, I said that technology has defined us in so many ways. And one of the ways that the technology has defined us is the way we work. And currently now, the biggest companies on earth are built on technology. You can talk about YouTube, which is one of the biggest companies on earth currently now. Facebook is one of the biggest companies. They are all built on the internet. So the way we work has already been defined by this company. So you can sit down and build a multi-billion dollar company in your house, or at the comfort of your house, or at the comfort of your bed. You can comfortably do that. Now, the best and the richest earners currently now in Nigeria and in the world are all freelancers doing their work from their home. They don't need to travel or go to work every day. They sit down at their home and get a lot of money from it. That's the way internet has defined things. So one of the ways that internet has defined us is the way we worked. Currently, I'm sitting down in my room, addressing everybody from the comfort of my room. That's the power of the internet. Now we are going somewhere. Now I want you to understand that the first world, because while we are here, I want to look at how people think and challenge ourselves to think differently. The first world sees the internet we are talking about as inexhaustible resource. That means that they see the internet as an ocean. And in this analogy, you understand with me that in the ocean that you have, a lot of things can go on. You won't carry, even though you carry the biggest container in the world to face the ocean or face the river, it won't get dry because it cannot be exhaustible. It cannot finish at all. That is the power of the internet. That's the same way internet works. So the first world see the internet as inexhaustible resource. That's what it sees it as. Meanwhile, we at the third world, we see the internet as exhaustible resource. It's as you see the internet as a glass of water that can get finished. So we try as much as possible to conserve it and preserve it just for ourselves. That's why most times we get 1 gig, 2 gig, 3 gig, 4 gig. to 10 gig, and we've been conditioned to use that internet part-time in a specific time. But in the first world, it's not like that. As I said, most of the multi-billion dollars company was built from the internet, which is seen as an inexhaustible resource, like an ocean that cannot be finished. But here we see it as a glass of water that can be finished, so we manage it. So that being said, a lot of company has been built on it. Meanwhile, we cannot comfortably build companies on it because we see it in a different way. So what we are trying to build up this is to change our mindset about the internet. And when we talked about freelancing is in two forms. You can do your freelancing online, offline. You can do your freelancing remotely. But what we are emphasizing as a freelance is most especially as a remote worker with the online basis. Now, based on Nigerian statistics, in Nigeria today, 84% to 87% of the workforce in Nigeria are all self-employed. That means that people that are working online people that are employed, that they are working for themselves or working for government, 87% of them are self-employed. Now, out of this 87%, only 14% work remotely. That means that they are not aware that they can use the power of the internet to work better. That is why we come up with the business of freelancing, to guide those 87% of self-employed to get more market online and see how they can market themselves properly online. Before we continue dive deep, I want us to compare the market first, because let's understand what we are dealing with and how important this industry is. Let's look at the market of the freelance market globally. Now, the global gig for the workforce of freelance is worth over 435 million people. That means globally, 435 million people work online. That's what they do. Secondly, United States alone has over 64 million freelancers, which occupy over 38% of the workforce of the United States. That shows that, imagine that our own workforce is occupying 14%, while that of the United States is occupying 38%. There's a lot of gap for us to fill in this industry. Now let's go further and look at other analysis. Now in the US alone, they had 4,869 jobs that was available for freelance only in the month of June. June alone, statistics shows that over 40,000 jobs was available for only remote workers or freelancers, not for on-site, not for offline. Those people that are working online, only United States alone, they provided more than 40,000 of those jobs. United Kingdom as a whole provided more than 4,000 of those jobs. Australia, 6,000, and other countries as well, including Nigeria, have a share in this. So that's how the market is vast. Now, with all this number we have mentioned, $1.5 trillion of the freelance industry, the number of jobs being posted out by the United States, about 4,000 jobs online for freelancers. The question is that, why are freelancers broke? Why are we broke? And that is why we're having this conversation together to ask ourselves why we are broke. Now we're teaching two schools of thought that will help us look at ourselves and know if we are thinking the right way or we are thinking the wrong way. Now, I call it the school of the rich and also the school of the poor. How these two schools thinks. There are some persons that have sworn in their lives never to come online, and I'll be comparing those people that are online and those people that are offline. How much their value of their business will be online and offline. Now, you agree with me that if your business is offline, you can only deal with a particular region. Let me say, for instance, if your business is in Abuja currently, and you are into grant writing or fundraising just like myself. I can only serve Abuja physically. But if my business is online, just as it is now, I can easily serve globally. So in the mindset of the school of the rich, I position myself globally, not being limited by my location. That's the work of the internet. I can get a job in America, in the UK, in any part of the world, sitting down in Abuja. But in the school of the poor, they want to reason it deep and sit down in one place, have a furnished office outside their home, and build it up like that. Before you know it, I'm going to make more money than those other persons. That's how it works. That's the first analysis I want us to look at. Now, the second analysis I want to look at is consider myself, for instance, as a business plan writer. Imagine that I offer a business plan service globally, normally as I do. People from the UK come to me to get to help them write a business plan or grant writing or raise funding for their business. Now, at that point, what I will do is that I might be too worn out to start writing different grants for different people, or I might hire a lot of people to help me do the job. Any of the path I choose is okay by me. But look at another scenario. As a business plan writer, what if I develop an app that helps people to write a business plan? And at the end of the day, instead of everybody reaching out to me, they'll go into the app and subscribe to the app, and the app help them to write business plan. You see, these are two different schools of thoughts. And we're trying to establish why freelancers are actually broke. We are going to the other point. The last one is individual as an agency, as I've mentioned. I can decide to hire people to work under me to deliver more grant writing jobs, or I decide to do it alone. So those are two schools of thought that we are looking at. Now, one of the ways that freelancers are broke is because they choose wrong niche. Most freelancers choose wrong niche. You just feel like, okay, let me allow my business to go online. And they struggle to put their business online. And maybe their business they are into maybe content writing. Without being specific in their niche, they put it out online. And one time they try getting a job, maybe on Upwork or any other platform, and the job is not coming. They are worn out, they are born out. At the end of the day, they will give up on it, say freelancing is not working. It's not because that freelancing is not working, it's because they choose a wrong niche to operate in. That alone is a problem. And that is what we will be looking at going further. So we have established that we've established a school of the rich, and also we have established a school of the poor. And I've told you different scenarios how this school thinks. So we're going to look at that and use the school of the rich now to apply to ourselves as okay.
Okay. At this point, you should be very time conscious. So try to put together all your thoughts. So we will give you like 5 minutes more.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we are getting there. So first of all, we said niche first. You consider your niche. Currently, which of the niche in freelancing is selling? There are a lot of jobs can go into freelancing, but not all the niche you can get jobs. There are some niche that you can have jobs. There are some niche that you cannot have job easily. I'll give you some instance. Now, one of the in the global market, for instance, the US market or in the Europe market, software engineering, web development pays better. The job pays better, and people are in high demand of it. I'll mention other ones like data analysis and AI. They pays better. UI UX and product design pays better. Digital marketing pays better, like the SEO digital marketing, like the XEO, the analysis, and the rest. Content production, like video editing, social media, and the rest sells better. Business plan and strategy also sells better. But now these skills I mentioned does not come easily. It does not come cheap. It may take you time to master this skill. But if you master this skill and know what you are doing, you go online, automatically you will have a lot of gigs for yourself, a lot of jobs for yourself to go on with. So you consider the niche first. What niche should I consider? There's some niche you consider you won't sell. There's some niche you consider you will sell properly. And a lot of people are in demand. So you search what are the niche that are in demand, then you go by it. Then in Nigerian market, since we are all Nigerians, or most of us here are Nigerians, you have to consider what niche is really selling in the Nigerian market. What are people buying? One of the things that people are buying is virtual assistants. People are buying that a lot. Social media management, they are buying that a lot. Content writing and copywriting, they are buying that a lot. So these skills I mentioned are skills that people really need currently now. So if you are going to freelancing, you have this skill in Nigerian market, you are sought after. Nigerian market can get you out there. But the first skill I mentioned, a lot of people that can pay you better, because what I mentioned is that a skill that can pay you better and help position yourself better is this skill I mentioned globally. The ones in Nigeria have also mentioned it for us to understand how it works. So that's how freelance work. So if you pick a wrong niche, automatically it will become difficult for you to really go ahead with it. So first of all, you have to understand that as a Nigerian, I'm trying to round up, there are some certain factors that are 100% against you. And one of those factors is that everybody assumes that you're a scammer online, except you prove yourself otherwise. So before going into the market of freelancing, there are a lot of problems that you need to solve. Even though you are genuinely sincere and those problems are not solved, and you have a glitch on your work 1 or 2 times, you'll be like, it's Nigeria. He or she has scammed me. So the first thing you have to do is that you have to look at your setup. You have to be in a very quiet environment, that is not noisy, first of all. I'm in my space, I'm talking to you. The environment is calm, is not noisy. That is one proof that, okay, this person is a serious freelance. Secondly, you look at your internet. Now, as I said, in the first world, as we established, the internet is inexhaustible resource. They don't think that they don't even know that it will get finished. It is only in the third world that internet gets finished. In the other world, it does not finish. So if you tell your clients in the UK or in the US that you don't have data, they'll be like, what is data? They don't even know the meaning of data. Data can be maybe statistics. So if you say data, they don't even understand. If you say there is no NEPA light, they'll be like, what is NEPA light? NEPA light, they don't understand that, oh, is it true that people can survive without light? They don't know all these things. So it's something that you have to find a way to correct. Secondly, you have to be able to solve global payment barrier. Learn how to use global payment option. There are lots. You can make a research about it. Because of my time, I'm trying to rush. Then another part you have to solve is VPN. Now, that not all jobs that you can see as a Nigerian. I'm not saying that you're a scammer or you want to scam. So you have to use the VPN to be able to see those jobs. Very important. Now, there are so many Upworks that we use. As a freelance, what you have to understand is that whenever you have a job, you get a gig, for instance. Some of us go sleeping that, I've gotten this job. No need to fight for another job. To me, what I do is that immediately I land my job, the first thing I do, I start looking for another job. Because freelance is based on contract most times, and sometimes it's 3 months, 6 months, 1 year max. So if you are so clued to that job, not knowing that one day is going to end, it becomes a problem. So you start looking for other strategy, another platform that you have to have job for yourself. So you don't only depend on your job on Upwork or on LinkedIn. You have to use a lot of method to make sure that you reach out to your clients, both cold mail and others, to seek for this job. So there are a lot of things you have to do as a freelance. I could have gone because of my time. I think I'm going to end here for now. Then if there is any question, I'm going to make more clarity for that. Thank you very much. And Martha, thank you for this opportunity. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. You've spoken like the expert that you are. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We are grateful. But I think our viewers have some questions for you. And before we take the questions from our viewers, I have a question for you that I think our viewers might want to ask, and the area I think they may want to get clarity on. So, from your experience in mentoring startups, what mindset shift do you think freelancers need to adopt that will help them move from the hustling for gigs to actually scaling as a business? What mindset do you think they should have? And then the second part of this question is, if there is a freelancer that is already successful today, what should that freelancer do? What's that first, second step the freelancer should take to start scaling from freelancer that chases gig into a freelancer that is actually building a business with freelancing?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I think I can take it up from there. Let me start from the second part of the question, which is that of the already established freelancers. Yeah. Now, there's some culture that we need to imbibe as freelancers. First of all, we have to understand that freelance is a business, and we have to take it as a business.
Sure.
Now, being the business is that you pay yourself. Like personally, what I do as a freelance is that I earn in dollars, but I don't spend in dollars. I earn in dollars and I spend in naira. And secondly, you shouldn't spend you should spend like the average person you are in your country, not spending like the Americans or the UK persons.
Because
that's what. Yeah, because we earn in dollars. So if you are, for example, if you're a master degree holder, you ask yourself, in the Nigeria economy, how much does master degree holder earns? Okay, with your master degree, can you have a lecturing job? Let's take the highest lecturing job. Maybe they're paying you 400,000 a month. And as a freelance, you earn more than maybe ₦1 million a month. What I advise you to do as a freelance first is that you bring yourself low and bring yourself low and earn like your economy that you are. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because you are your own employee and you are your own pensioner.
Yeah.
So the government will not pay you pension at the end of your years working as a freelance. You have to pay yourself. So you have to start earning like the persons like you have in Nigeria. Whereas you start building up your portfolio for yourself and start making plans for your savings. Now, one thing I did for myself that I'm so glad is the fact that, because we're told to share our own experience, the fact that 2018, 2019, I have to open a pension account for myself. And also I opened a pension account for all my staff that are working with me at that time. So that means that whenever the money comes in, I have money for myself, I have money for my savings, I have money for my pension. And the pension is growing. So by the time I'll be up to the age when Nigeria was supposed to pay me, or my country was supposed to pay me pension, I'll pay myself because I prepare for it. So all freelancers should be able to build that. Secondly, you may not build your freelance as a business model on the global scene. Some people prefer to, like some clients want to give their jobs to individual, not an agency or a company. So if you are that kind of person that always get gigs or jobs from a client that want to work with you personally, please, in your own country that you are, register your company and run it personally and run it as a company. So when you receive your money from maybe any of these payment platform that they use, maybe it can be Gray and the rest, withdraw the money and let the money pass through your own personal business account, not your personal account. From there now you can pay yourself, pay your staff or your assistant that is working with you, and you move on. That is how advise freelance to do. So you register your business or freelance, please register your business and run it as a company internally. Run it as a company internally and move on with it. Then for those of us that are just coming up as if they want to start the business of freelance or freelance, please note that your niche matters a lot.
Sure.
The skills that you have, that you think you have, sometimes AI must have eaten 80% of it.
Of course.
Like somebody met me and said he's into logo designing. And all of us know that when it comes to logo, you can easily do logo with, there are a lot of apps that does logo for free. So that person may not be able to sell, may not be able to have jobs like that. At the end of the day, he feels like his skill is not good enough. Truly, AI is taking part of the job for you. So what you have to do is pick a niche that you know you can easily get a job. And also pick a niche that are in high demand and run with it. Sorry. Then also try as much as possible to get yourself into a community and have accountability partner. See, as a freelance, it's not easy working from home. Let me tell you the truth.
No.
It is very stressful. In fact, today I learned that if you are sitting a lot or lying down a lot to work, the same thing you face or the same consequences that will come to you in terms of your health is the same thing that the person that smoke igbo will also have. So you have to be intentional about yourself, build community around you, freelance community around you, and make sure that you check up on yourself and you try as much as possible to wind up and build up the career, because it's not easy to be disciplined. It's not easy to be disciplined. That's the truth. Working from home, you have all the liberty, all the freedom. So it's good to be attached to somebody that will guide you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful answer. So I will rush now to put out the question that one of our audience asked. So he said, does a human resource expert need a freelancer? Because he believes there are freelancers themselves. So do you think human resource officials need freelancers?
Let me understand what I don't get the question. Please come again.
Does human resource officials need freelancers? Because he feels that as a human resource official, you are a freelancer yourself. So do they
Okay.
still need?
First of all, you have to understand that I'm a freelancer and I employ a freelancer. It's just the level of knowledge. For instance, Tunelumelu is a banker and he employs a banker. So you might have, I don't know if you can see here. Hello, can you still hear me?
You can continue. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So as I was saying, you may have a need as a freelance. You may have a need of maybe an assistant, like normal admin assistant or other assistants. Then you can now employ the service of a freelance that can help you, maybe data entry or to assist you, or executive assistant, any of those things. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. And let me add a little to that question. If you are a human resource official, we have human resource officials that works offline on site and they don't work remotely. And human. Hello, everyone. Hello, can you see us? Can you still hear us? Can you still hear us? Hello, everyone. Okay. So let me contribute a little to that. And we have one of the speakers in the house. She would like to contribute to that as well, but I would like us to be as brief as possible. So I was saying that um, as a human resource officer, we have human resource officers that are not freelancers. We have human resource officials that work on site, and we understand that human resource activities are a wide range, like from sourcing out CV to putting out adverts to compiling names to doing interview. Yes, the question is yes. As a human resource official, you can still use the help of a freelancer. Whether you're working on site or remotely, you can still use the help of a freelancer depending on the activities you have. You can make use of the service of let me say website designers. You can make use of the services of a graphic designer. You can make use of the services of a virtual assistant. So yes, as a human resource official, you can still make use, you can likely need a freelancer. So please, let's give and the opportunity to Mrs. Ajobaro to contribute to this question. She has something to say.
Thank you so much, Martha. And I want to especially thank Mr. Emmanuel UBK for recommending me for this webinar. I want to, because I'm currently working with three HR companies now, talent agencies. That's why I want to reply. I want to contribute to that question. There are a lot of aspects of HR that a freelancer can work in, that you can hire a virtual assistant for. You can hire a virtual assistant to work on the resume of your candidates. That's number one. Then you can hire a virtual assistant to conduct the first step of the interviews. That's number two. You can hire a virtual assistant to conduct the first phone interview. That's what we do. Then you can hire a virtual assistant to qualify. If you are using AI nowadays, because there are so many AI softwares now that can grade, that can qualify candidates and put them in pipelines. But you, as a virtual assistant, you still have to go in and press the button. So there is a lot of opportunity if you are in the human resources side of the business. But there's a lot of opportunity for you online, and all these agencies, they are looking for HR consultants that can help them in that role. So it is vast online. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. We appreciate that contribution. Okay, so I'll just recap a little on what Mr. Emmanuel said, and we will go further. So I listened to him carefully, and I took note of some of the things he said that I think might be important to us. So if you missed out on when the network was having a glitch, so he started by saying you should take note of what you will stop doing today as a freelancer. You should take note of what you will start doing today as a freelancer. And you should also take note of the strategies that you will put in place to aid your freelance business. And he made mention that you should stop treating freelancing as a side hustle and start treating it as a business that it is. He also advised our newbies and encouraged already existing freelancers to choose their niche wisely, train themselves, and stay patient until they succeed. He talked about retirement plan, and he also made mention of building your finances, saving, and paying for yourself. I hope I didn't cover a lot, but I hope I've just been able to reiterate a little of what Mr. Emmanuel said. So if you missed out on his presentation, with that, you can get something from it. So we are not just going to waste any more time. Let's go on with our next speaker. So our second speaker is all about growth. Before we continue, please, if you're enjoying this live, please like it, share it so other people will join it. And then don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because you'll be having lots of events like this, and you'll be having lots of resources around freelancing, virtual assistants, AI, personal growth, and all there is to it, right? So click on the subscription button and share the live to people whom you think might need it. So our next resource person, our speaker, is a growth expert. He's Chukwuebuka. a growth marketer who uses SEO, GEO, and strategies. His analytics and analyzes businesses to help freelancers and business owners to get noticed online. He focuses on practical systems that attract both clients and grow confidence in freelancers, right? So if you to make your presence online show, you want to grow online, this person has the strategies, he has the tips, he has the tricks that can guide you to grow your online presence, to make you visible. He does that with business owners, with entrepreneurs, and also with freelancers. So let's open the floor to Mr. Chukwuebuka. Please join me as we welcome him. Over to
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Martha. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. That was a very, the session ended quickly. There was so much information, so many things that I had planned to say. And I mean, so I think Mr. Emmanuel did a very wonderful job. And I also want to thank Martha for setting this conversation up. I think it's a very timely conversation because when I think about the work environment in the future, I see work becoming more of a remote experience. So what that means is that there's going to be a lot more of people working from virtual places, right? So the freelancing idea is going to be more like a mainstay.
Yeah.
And so I think this kinds of conversations are important to kind of like prepare us for that economy when it comes, right? So I'm going to be diving right into the meat of the conversation. A lot of things I'm going to be saying is not going to be new. They're going to be things that are easy, but like Mr. Emmanuel rightly said, the difference between the proof that you have clarity of an idea or a conversation is the actions that you take because of the information you have. So, right, if you are able to understand all of the information you're going to be hearing from us, the proof that you have clarity is that you're able to put that information to work. And so a lot of things I'm going to be saying is going to be very simple strategies that I have been able to deploy over and over, and I see that it has produced results over and over again. All right, so who am I and why I think it's important you should listen to me is my name is Chukwuebuka, like she said. I am a growth marketer and a freelancer. I have been freelancing full time for like 3 years now. And over the course of the years, I have had the opportunity to work with over 50 businesses, international businesses, and I have been able to craft growth marketing campaigns for these businesses. And I've had many wins and I've had many failures as well. And, that wealth of experience has, taught me what actually works when it comes to bringing people into the door and keeping them. So I can remember when I started hearing about making money online, the journey between when I first heard about the idea that people make money online and to the point where I started making money online, it was a very long, tedious process, right? I didn't need to go through all of the hassle that I went through, but I did because I didn't have anybody to guide me or to point me to the right places, right? And so the aim of this conversation tonight from my end is that after this conversation, you are able to go back to your computer, your desk, whatever, and implement these strategies, and you're able to get real results, right? But again, like Mr. Emmanuel said, with patience, right? Implementing the strategies with patience, because there's no, it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? It takes patience. There's a learning curve, right? It takes patience. It takes tenacity. But when you have direction, it's easy, right? So I'm going to head straight into it. So in this conversation, we're going to be talking about 3 touch points. 3 touch points, basically. We're going to be talking about positioning. We're going to be talking about leveraging on SEO strategies to get clients to notice you. And then we're going to be talking about building a system that you can use to get people into the door. So the first thing is positioning. So when we talk about positioning, something, again, Mr. Emmanuel mentioned is clarity. Can you hear me? I can hear some feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm sorry, I talk very fast. So if at any point you get lost in the conversation, please, you can, call my attention to it, right? So we're going to be talking about positioning. So when I think about positioning, there are 3 things I think about. The first one is clarity. The second one is credibility. The third one is consistency. So the first one, clarity, you have to be clear about what skill you are coming to offer in the internet space. I would explain that. You have to know exactly the type. So Mr. Emmanuel mentioned something about people doing logo designs. So again, I mean, he was trying to be subtle with the way he was trying to say that AI has taken your job. The truth is that AI has taken your job. If you are doing logo design, you don't have a job in the future. One of the ways I am able to kind of future-proof whatever I do is when I think of a skill I want to render, I think of that skill in the future. What does the future of that skill look like? And I work a lot with AI. So if you are here, you're trying to get into the freelance space and you're not using AI, I'm sorry to tell you that you don't have a job in the future. So yeah. I use AI a lot. I work with AI a lot. I future-proof everything I do. So if I'm building a skill, if I'm trying to learn a skill, if I'm interested in learning a skill, let's say I don't know anything about freelancing and I want to come into freelancing. Let's say I'm a math teacher in school. So the good thing is that I know math. So what that means is that I can do anything around statistics and all of that. A good place to start is to chat with your AI chatbot and try to figure out what the future of math looks like. In the internet space, what skill is more closely related with the idea? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. So so doing it that way, you are able to pick. You're not swimming against the tide, right? It's very difficult swimming against the tide. So when you pick a skill that is future-proof, you know that whatever you are building on is something that will last the test of time, that will stand the test of time, right? So again, clarity about the skill you're offering. The next thing you need to be clear about, the solution you are bringing to the table. What problem are you solving, right? I'll give you an example. So let's say that you are let's say you're a web designer, right? You design websites for businesses. Many people would want to position themselves as, oh, I'm a web designer. That is good, right? That is fantastic, but it's a little bit generic. How relevant is a web designer? Like, what's the importance of a web designer to a business owner? If I have a website as a business owner, why do I need your services as a web designer? Like, you have to be able to convince me that you can turn my website, my static website, into a money-generating machine or an asset. So if I'm a web designer, here's how I would position myself. I would say that I help you create websites that are able to turn visitors into paying clients. So you have to understand exactly what is the pain point. And part of understanding that is you have to also understand what clients are you serving? What clients do you want to serve? You cannot serve everybody. So it's important that you segment, you do what is called client segmentation. You're able to segment, okay, this is my this is my persona, this is my ideal client, and these are the kinds of solutions I'm bringing to them because I see this is the problem that they are facing, right? So the first thing you need to do when it comes to positioning it is have clarity. Have clarity about the the skill you're coming to offer. Have clarity about the problem you're coming to solve. Have clarity about who you're solving this problem for. Now, when you have clarity, the next thing is that you have to build credentials. So you know the problem you're coming to solve. You have to build credentials, show people that you've had successes solving that problem. Now, when I say this, a common question would be, especially for people that have never done anything online, would be, okay, so how am I able to show people that I'm able to solve their problem when I've never really done anything online? So the point of learning a skill is where you are able to build your portfolio. Now, an easy way to do this, again, I'm trying to make this as practical as possible so that I can go away and start implementing. An easy way to do this, if you have no skill, let's say you're a math teacher and you're trying to maybe start doing data analytics because it's closely related to math.
Yes.
One way to do this, as you are learning data analytics, go into your AI at every phase of your learning process. Ask the AI to generate projects that you can tackle. And as you are tackling this project, record your processes, record the problem, record what you did, record the outcome. That is how you're able to build a portfolio, even when you don't have any clients you service in the moment. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's important that when you've picked a skill, identify the problem, pick the client you want to service, you have a track record to show the client that you are able to service and to solve their problem. Now, the last thing in positioning is you have to be consistent. Now, a lot of things I see around people that are trying to break into the internet money space is that people do different things in different platforms. So you can see somebody on LinkedIn is a growth marketer. On Twitter, the person is a virtual assistant. On Instagram, the person is a programmer, something else. So on different platforms, your messaging is not consistent, even on the same platform. So let's say on LinkedIn, you are a virtual assistant. Before you know, you start talking about politics. Before you know, you start talking about something that you have to have a consistent messaging on all your platforms. So I'll just leave that there so that I can rush. So the next thing I want to talk about, so we've talked about positioning. Remember, positioning, we talk about SEO, how to use SEO to get clients to notice you, and then we talk about systems. So we've done positioning, now SEO. So the idea of SEO, when people hear about SEO, they immediately begin to think about Google search, and how websites are able to rank on Google. But here's the thing though. SEO is not just related to Google. SEO is basically search engine optimization. Every platform that has search capabilities. So think about LinkedIn, think about Upwork, think about Instagram. Every platform that has such capability has an algorithm in place to recommend the best possible results to a search query. So let's say for many of us that are already freelancers, we know about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and the likes. So let's say you go to Fiverr and you're trying to search for a job, and you put in Google Ads specialist, right? What the platform does is the algorithm in the platform, it goes through different accounts, and based on certain criteria, it is able to reference the best possible result that is able to provide value immediately to the person making the search. I don't know if that makes sense, but I can't go into too much details. So it works the same way, really. When you are on any platform as a freelancer, you have to understand that there are algorithms that is designed to put you on the top spots when people are trying to research several different skill sets and all of that. So one of the things you need to do is you need to research your services. So 6 steps. You need to research your services. You need to note the buzzwords. There are buzzwords in every industry. There are buzzwords in every niche. There are buzzwords, right? So you need to research your services. You need to notice your buzzwords. You need to use that buzzword in your profile to optimize your profile. You need to create content that are relevant to those buzzwords. So usually value-packed, helpful content. Um, you need to be able to track the analytics, right? So every platform, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Upwork, whether it's Fiverr, every time you have activity on those platforms, there is usually analytics sections that is able to show you how people are interacting with your content. For example, in LinkedIn, when you make a post, you see impressions, you see analytics that is able to tell you how people are interacting with your post, right? So it's important to make use of those analytics to be able to refine your content. And that is the last point, really. So when you look at these analytics, you're able to iterate based on what is working and what is not working. You're able to iterate and make changes and improve, and the circle continues, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to rush so that I don't waste so much time. The last thing I'm going to be talking about is how to put all of these things I've said into a system. It's basically a recap of everything, right? And it's more like having this as a system that you can leverage on to get clients to reach out to you consistently. So the first thing I talk about is positioning, right? The second thing I talked about was SEO, where you are able to create problem-solving content on whatever platform you are interested in leveraging on, be it your website through blog posts, be it on LinkedIn, whatever platform you use. It could be on Twitter, on X. Sorry, I keep calling it Twitter. Then the third step is you need to be able to create. There's something called a lead magnet. Every marketer knows this. A lead magnet is simply the idea that you are able to create some sort of value that is able to trap people or get people interested in you, so that you can get the oh, Martha is raising her hands. So,
There was a little glitch in your network when you were trying to talk about the third point. So I don't know if you can say that again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, the network is interrupted. Okay. Welcome back. Unmute your mic.
oh, sorry
We
about
can't
that.
hear you. Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry about that. You can hold Martha accountable. She's the one that that distracted
Sorry
me.
about
Yeah.
that.
Right. So I was saying that I was trying to talk about lead magnet. So it's the idea that you're able to put out an information that is able to trap people's data, people's attention, right? To get people to notice you. So it could be, let's say you are trying to sell something online. Maybe you are trying to sell a course. It could be like giving out a free, template, a free guide, a free, something that you're able to give out for free that has so much value that people are able to interact with and then come back to you because you've given them value before. So is the whole idea, in the simplest way I can think about it, of a lead magnet. Now, the next thing you need to do, and that's the step 4, is that you have to be able to track your progress. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to be able to use those data. Again, like I said, LinkedIn has um, an analytic platform that you're able to use to track how your post, how your profile is going. Use that data to your advantage. If you are on Google, let's say you are running ads on Google, there's Google Analytics that you're able to see how people are coming into your website, how they are interacting with your ads, how they are interacting with your messages, and all of that. Use that to your advantage. The last thing I want to say is that, in conclusion, right, there is no point trying to reinvent the wheel. If you are if you're already a freelancer or you are trying to be a freelancer, there is no point trying to reinvent the wheel. There are people in your niche that are already doing exceptionally well in whatever you want to do. Copy them. Copy them. When you are starting, there's no point trying to be creative. I mean, you don't even know what you are doing in the first place. So what are you being creative about? Copy them as much as you can. The people that have success, the people, when you go to their platform that you see, I'm not talking about, for example, when you go to Upwork, there's a way Upwork categorizes talents. You see rising talents, whatever. I'm talking about looking at the people that are up there. Look at how they structure their profile. Look at how they use the buzzwords in your industry. Copy them as much as you can and replicate that in your profile. We do this a lot when I'm strategizing with a client. For example, I have a client that comes to me for Google Ads and SEO. Part of the things I do with the clients is I take them through these steps. But I first of all analyze what their value proposition is. I need to understand what exactly is the problem they're trying to solve. There was a difficult client I worked with. I think she was selling CRMs, that's customer relationship management tools, and it was difficult selling her business because she did not have a specific value proposition. I ended up parting ways with the client because it was a very difficult place to be at. You need to know exactly what the value proposition is. What exactly is the problem you're coming to solve, right? So when we figure out the value proposition, the next thing we do is that we do competitor research. We analyze the client's competitors. We analyze what are these guys doing. If they are running ads, okay, we look at their ads. What type of ads are they running? What type of ads is working for them? If it's Facebook, there's something called Facebook Ads Library. There's something called Facebook Ads Library. If it's on Google, you are running ads on Google. There's something called Google Transparency. I can't remember it now, but there's a Google Transparency platform where you're able to see what other advertisers are doing. So you can do research on your competitors, see the kind of ads they are running, know what is working. Again, there is no point reinventing the wheel. See what is working, copy what is working, and implement it. Now, when you copy what is working and you implement it, if it doesn't work, and you try to figure out why it is not working. Again, so when we look at the competitors and we see what they're doing, the next thing we do as a business when clients come to us is that we do something called keyword research. Now, again, this is all changing because the AI chat system is changing how people search. So the search parameters are changing. So people are no longer focusing so much on keywords, but now on meaning, right? People are now are seeking to have conversations rather than scrolling through the search engine result page to look at a couple of websites and make research before they make a decision. So, but that's by the way. So you do keyword research, basically finding the buzzwords. So there are buzzwords in your industry. Find those buzzwords. Use those buzzwords and implement them on your own profile. In our own case, we implement them on the client's business. So we do something called, if we are trying to run ads for the clients, we do something called conversion rate optimization, where we are able to map out the user journey and make sure that the user the user goes through the phases we want the users to go through to get to a point where we want the user to get to. I mean, this is all very technical stuff, but the point I'm trying to make is get the keywords, the buzzwords in the industry, implement those buzzwords on your own profile, dish out high value quality content as much as you can, track the analytics on those contents, and then you iterate the process. With that, I would like to thank Martha again for the opportunity. I hope I've been able to be of service to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwuebuka. This was, personally, I took notes. I enjoyed every bit of it. Personally, this part now will be very important to me because I need to implement all this for myself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was so much value. And I hope our audience are getting this value. I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope you didn't come here to mark presents, because this was actually prepared to make you grow, to make you establish yourself as a business and not just a freelancer. So if you are taking note of all of this and you implement all of this, there is no way you will not build your freelance career beyond gigs, right? So if you've not been taking notes, please open your ears. Open your ears. So, Mr. Chukwuebuka, I'm just going to ask you just one question, and I will just try to reiterate a little of what I got from what you said for people who were not quite following. So, the question I have for you is, what's one marketing do you think they can fix it? Did you get that?
I didn't get it. You cut out of it.
Okay. The question is, what's one marketing mistake you think freelancers make over and over again, and how do you think they can fix it?
I think just thinking about it, I think one of the mistakes that I see is common from personal experience. One of the two mistakes I did when I started up freelancing is I was not recording the works I was doing. So it's important, like I said initially, it's important to have a record of your portfolio. I wasn't doing that. I was just working and working and working. And at the end of the day, when you look back, there's nothing you have to show for it. I mean, if you don't want to look for another gig, if you are comfortable working with one person forever, it's okay to do that. But if you want to be able to show work experience over the years and show that as proof of work to another person, you have to record, have a case study file where you keep all of the case study of the work you have done in the past. Another thing I think is a common mistake a lot of freelancers do is the idea of multiple streams of income it is true, but I think it is far-fetched. Like, the way people think about it is very wrong, in the sense that, you know, you see a graphics designer, because again, as a freelancer, the truth is you cannot be a successful freelancer if you don't have multiple skills. It's not possible. Like, you have to have multiple skills, because you need multiple skills to deploy your work every single time. If you are a business analyst, you need to be a copywriter at some point to be able to write good copies for your website. You need to have some sense of design skills. So you we always have multiple streams of income. So the illusion now is that we want to put ourselves out there with all how do I put it, skill sets, right? So in this platform, I said it initially, in this platform, you are a graphic designer. In the other platform, you are a UI UX person. In the other platform, you are a virtual assistant. It doesn't work that way. Now, this is when I think about multiple streams of income, I see it from this perspective that you can be a graphics designer, and out of that graphics designing experience, there are multiple streams that you can bring out of that, and I'll explain. So as a graphics designer, you can have a YouTube page where you teach graphics designing. Teaching graphics designing, you can have a course in graphics designing. YouTube can be paying you money as a graphics designer that teaches graphics designing and produce content in that regards. You can have a course. When people come to learn graphics designing, they will not get it. It's not possible. If 1 million people watch your video, maybe like 2,000 people will get it. The remaining how many thousand of people will not get it. So many people will come to upskill. They will go to your courses to see your courses to get deeper knowledge and insights. Now, many business owners that are interested in having websites for their business as a graphics designer that have interested in doing graphics for their business, they will come to your YouTube videos to try to learn it on their own. But because they are very busy as business owners, they are very busy running their own businesses, they will not have time to do it. They will end up reaching out to you to do graphics designing for their business. So you're a graphics designer, but there's so many threads you can pull out of that graphics designing that can serve as multiple streams of income for you as a graphics designer without having to diversify or dilute your efforts with other skills. I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. Thank you very much. Thank you. So our time is fast spent, so I think I will reiterate in general what the whole speakers have done today at the end of this session. But for now, let's just move on to the next speaker, so we make very good use of our time. Okay. So I don't know if our next speaker is ready. Okay, our next speaker for today is very close to the lineup. He's a web designer, a digital marketer, a tech entrepreneur who has built solutions for businesses. He has trained talent, he has co-led, and he also presents he represents the blend of tech and entrepreneurship in freelancing. So he's a tech expert, and he's doing it as an entrepreneur and also as a freelance. Exactly what we are talking about today, how you can build your freelance business, your freelance career as a business. So he's already doing that, working as a tech expert and building his skills and presenting it to the public as a business. So join me, let's welcome our next speaker for tonight, God's Favor Innocent. Over to you, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Good evening. Welcome.
All right.
You're welcome.
It has been
personally, I can hear you. Please, our audience.
Yeah. Okay. So it's so good to be here. I've been very, very occupied. I just jumped from one meeting to this meeting, and I'll still have to jump back to that other meeting. So I'll be very quick with what we have today. Thank you so much, Martha, for this opportunity. I have been longing for this opportunity to share from the experiences that I have. And I'm trusting that by the time we are done, it's going to be a blessing to every one of us. Very quickly, let me go into what we have. Please give me permission to share my screen if you don't mind.
We can't hear you. Your network is actually breaking. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
If you can see me, we can't hear you.
I can see you and I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you now, so you can go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Now, today I'll be talking about the tools, right? Tools that will scale, tools that every freelancer needs. Okay, there are so many things to do as a freelancer, and then if you do not have some of these tools, you will stress and burn out. When Ibuka was talking, he made mention of some things that caught my interest. He said, as a freelancer, you can make multiple streams of income from just one tool. Okay, now one of the things that will ensure that this is possible is when you have systems. You cannot do it on your own. God created man and gave us the ability to procreate, gave us the ability to dominate. For you to dominate effectively, you cannot do everything by yourself. If this is one thing I'm able to drum into your mind, I believe I would have been able to do it well enough. You cannot do everything by yourself. Freelancing is tasky. I must say that freelancing is tasking. You have to put on the cap of a graphic designer. You have to put on the cap of a web developer. You have to put on the cap of your accountant. You put on the cap of everything. Basically, you will be the one that will be your accountability partner for yourself. You are in charge of motivating yourself. You are the one to upskill yourself. Everything you need to succeed is on you. All right. So as a freelancer, you have to leverage the tools that are available. And I'm going to be sharing very few of them. Some of them we already know, some of them we may not know. And there are some free options that we will use because it doesn't have to be very expensive. Some of the times we just have to use the things that are available at our disposal. Please confirm you can hear me. So, in this presentation, we're going to understand the key tools and the categories that freelancers must adopt. And I'm going to be sharing real tools and some of them that have free trials that we can use, and they have free trials. You know, you don't have to break the bank as a freelancer before you are able to produce or effective products for yourself. And then I'm going to give us 3 scalable business ideas if time permits. And then we'll walk away with actionable plan for a 30-day growth as a freelancer. Very quickly, I'm going to say that why these tools matter is because without them, you are limited to your hours. We only have 24 hours in a day. You have time to go and eat, you have time to sleep, you have time to build on your skills, to harness the skills, to gain more skills, you will have time to work, and all of them is in these 24 hours. If you are not able to maximize and make efficient use of your time, you will not be able to achieve the potentials that are embedded in us. Things that we are able to achieve will be limited to our hours. Imagine that you are able to, now somebody gave me a job sometime to build a website. Normally this website could take me, say, 3 weeks. All right, 3 weeks. And then, because at the time I had some people working with me, I shared the tasks. I gave somebody to build the landing page. I gave another person to build the back end dashboard. Another person was working on authentication. Another person was working on API. And then we're able to compress that time and bring it down to a minimum of 3 days. And that website was up and working in 3 days. Now, imagine that I didn't have that opportunity to have people working with me. I'll have to finish doing the back end. I'll go to dashboard. From dashboard, I'll go to login. And before you know, the task will elongate. The period will elongate. And before you know it, the same money. And then I'll not be able to achieve more. So these tools will help you maximize your time so that you'll not be limited by your hours. We have just 24 hours in a day. How much of that hour can you put into work? How much time will you use to rest? How much time will you use to eat? How much time will you use to spend with your family? Because you're a freelancer, you will no longer have a social life. So I'm going to show us some of them. And then these tools will also help you replicate processes. Instead of doing things over and over again, you have something that you do once, and then it repeats the process over and over again for you so that you don't have to stress and replicate yourself. Also, these tools I'll be sharing with you, they reduce errors, they save you time, and they improve the experience of your clients, your customers. They will also help you to make money while you are sleeping, while you are relaxing. Now, as a freelancer, if you are able to capture these 6 categories of tools, you have some of tools that are handling these categories for you, these categories of steps for you, you have successfully positioned yourself to wealth and a successful life as a freelancer. Number 1 is payment and financing. Definitely, the goal of freelancing is to make money, right? So if you do not have a means of accepting payment, Nigeria is greatly disadvantaged. Nigeria, I don't want to even go into that. We are suffering in this country, but God will help us. If you don't have the means of accepting payment and managing your finances, both for international clients, okay, and Nigerian and local clients also, you stressed. Oh, you'll be stressed. Imagine completing a job, and then you finish, and then to collect the payment is now a struggle, it's now a hassle. And the thing also you must get in place, and the system you must get in place is your communications and meetings. For professionality, sometimes WhatsApp is not enough. Sometimes Telegram is not enough. Okay? So there are some things that you must have in to position yourself as a professional. Okay? You must have project and client management tools. You must have delivery and creation. You must be creative. Okay? As a freelancer, you must be able to package yourself. I am big on packaging because I've found out one of my boss, Mr. Isaac, is someone that I've learned a lot from. That it doesn't matter what you have, it doesn't matter whether it is authentic or even it is of high quality. The question is, can you package it well? Can you be able to offer a service? Can you bring it out in a form that people can look at and say, this thing is worth my while? How well can you present it? You must have delivery and creativity. Also, you must have automation and AI. Chukwuebuka was saying, talking about, he said the first place to start is ChatGPT. If there's anybody that is a freelancer and you are not using AI, I don't even know what you are freelancing. Mr. Emmanuel was saying sometimes that if you are designing logo, that you no longer have a job. This is true because I think it was yesterday, I saw somebody's professional headshot, which he created with AI. Google Gemini is doing this for free. We paid Remini AI some time ago to generate professional headshots for us. I paid. And then that time you need to train the model with around 8 to 16 pictures. And then after training that model, you can only generate pictures for that person, and then you have to retrain the AI. But now with one photo, Google Gemini does it for free and professional headshots in seconds. In seconds. And then you must have security. I'm just trying to rush because I need to jump back to the other meeting that I have. Now, for payments, you don't have to break the bank, okay? You don't have to use things that are complicated. Paystack accept both local and international payments. Okay, you don't even need to have a website for you to accept payments using Paystack. You can go on Paystack, register, create an account, verify with your email, your NIN or your BVN, and then create a business for yourself. You can create a payment page or a payment link where your customers can pay you, and they can pay you even in foreign currencies. Please check that out. Flutterwave does the same thing. So if you have a product, for example, maybe you sell maybe courses, or you have a book, or you have a digital product, whatever it is, you can create a payment page on Paystack. Right? Paystack does not necessarily need you to have a website to connect their API. It does that as well, but you just need to have the product, and you can create a payment link or a payment page on Paystack where you can put your product. Flutterwave does the same thing also. Payoneer, even though Payoneer have some restrictions, but Payoneer receives USD and Euro payments. Wise also, formerly transferred by Wise Transfer, uses it gives you access to multi-currency account. As a freelancer, it is better to get foreign clients, because the clients we have in Nigeria, they are not really helping matters. Right? Our Nigerian clients will stress the hell out of you, ask for 275 revisions, and then still struggle to pay. All right. Well, international clients may stress you, but not really. If you know what you are doing, if you are good at what you do, they may not stress you, and they will pay you very well. And then coupled with the conversion rate, which is in our favor, if you ask freelancers earning in dollars. All right. Very quickly, I'll need to go to the next one. For communications and meetings, Google Meet, Loom, and Zoom. Now, Zoom has some technical issues, which I don't know why. After they were able to take away what's the name of that came up, and then they took Skype out of the market. But there's some glitch. I don't know, somehow, if you use Zoom, it's some of glitchy somehow, unless it's a one-on-one call. But Google Meet is more stable and it is free, okay, and it's integrated. Now, some clients may have issues with using Zoom, all right, but Google Meet is free, even though you may need to pay for some. But if it's a one-on-one call, you can use Zoom, Google Meet, and then Zoom also gives you access to asynchronous client demos. You can create presentations and show it to your clients without stress. Please permit me, I am rushing. I need to go back to where the meeting I was holding. Now, the next one. Now, the next one on the list is project and client management. I'm sorry about that. They are needing my attention already. Now, Notion is used for everything as your workspace. You can use Notion for your workspace. It helps you organize. It helps you get a breakdown, a clear view of the tasks and the projects you are working on. ClickUp does the same thing. It helps you manage your time. It helps you schedule your processes and gives you access to the Kanban views and all that. And Trello also gives you Kanban views and simplicity. This thing scales because it has templates. You don't need to onboard or recreate the wheel, like what Ibuka said. Some of these things are there. You just need to collect it, edit it, and repurpose it for your own business. You don't need to start all over again. I remember one time I was trying to create a task, and I was using Google Sheets. I created a dashboard with Google Sheets, put all their emails on one. I was using code to create tasks so that when you click on a task, it will send an email to the person in charge, the person responsible for that. It was a tedious task. I got the satisfaction of building with code, and I built it, and it was nice. But then these tools are there for you, and you can use them without stress. Now, the next thing is delivery and creation. Chukwuebuka was saying that you need to put on many caps. As a freelancer, you must learn how to design, no matter how small, no matter how, you must learn how to present something. This slide I'm working with, I created this slide in less than 3 minutes. All right, because I have tools that I use that help my work, make my work fast and easy. I don't need to stress myself coming up with crazy designs. Canva helps you. There are millions and millions of templates and things you can use on Canva. Opt for the paid version. And so a lot of people are advertising paid version for a quarter of the price. You can opt for that, and then you have access to templates, billions of templates that you can use to make yourself look professional, make yourself stand out, make yourself look presentable, and not be looking as though you are not prepared. Figma also for UI and UX designs, and it's also used for prototype. Even if you don't know how to build a website, you have an idea, you can use Figma when you design it, maybe use other people's template, edit it, and there are plugins that you will use in Figma, and it can convert what you have done to ready-made websites. GitHub and Netlify for web development. If you create with code, you can almost instantly deploy this website for free. These things I'm showing you are tools you can use for free. They may have the paid option, but you can absolutely use them for free. What is the scalability of these tools? They have reusable templates and they have systems. On Canva, you can create multiple designs. You create one and it helps you create multiple designs. People use it to create YouTube automations where they create maybe daily affirmations or quotes, and then they just create one, go to ChatGPT and create multiple quotes, and they come to Canva and it will mass create those designs for you, and you can use it for your social media posts, for short form videos and content. Now, for video, VO3 is currently the leading one, even though there are so many, which I didn't write here. For VO3 is I've used it, I've used the paid version, I've used the free version, and I can tell you VO3 is amazing. Even though there are ways where you can get the free trial if you are using a student account. Now, videos is a must for every freelancer. You must be able to demonstrate and bring your product or your idea to life. You must be able to demonstrate or bring your products and ideas to life. Okay, you can use the script to edit videos and audio like text. You can use CapCut. There's a free version, there's a paid version. I even found out recently that CapCut has AI video generation, and it's even for free. If you use the web version, you go on CapCut.com, web.capcut.com, you can generate AI videos for free, even without signing in on CapCut. All right. Loom gives us feedback and the ability to get responses from your clients. I hope I'm not too fast. Sorry, I'm just trying to round up and go ahead.
It's fine, but the good thing is you're presenting with slides, so we can easily come back to your slide.
All right, thank you very much. So CapCut they have positioned themselves as the go-to video editor, but there are so many options. Filmora is a very good option. Edit by Instagram is also a very, very powerful option, and there are so many of them like that. For audio too, I forgot to mention, 11 Lab now, they are charging for audio, text-to-speech, and the powerful. The audio is by far the best I've used, 11 Labs audio, but Fish audio too works. And then if you are the Google fan, like Google Studio has a text-to-speech engine that you can use to create text-to-speech audios for your product and your videos and presentation and stuff. Now, the next on the list, which are the things that you must factor as a freelancer, is automations and integration. This is the core of freelancing that gives you peace. Okay? All these tools I've talked about, if you have to sit down and use them over and over again, it still means it requires your physical presence. Okay? But there are tools that you can use out there to automate these processes. I was working on an automation with Anything where you can create content on autopilot. You have your content calendar, and anytime we go and create the content details of the content. After you've created the content calendar, probably with ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Cloud, or anytime you create an automation, an AI agent that will go to your content calendar, pick the content, go ahead and open it up, get details of that, create a design, a flyer, or even create a video, probably a short form video because of the limitations of video generation tools. It creates a short form video and then post it on your social media on your behalf. You don't need to lift a finger, just set the tags and it's working without stress. Now, Google also released a competition for anything, which is OPAL, OPAL, even though it is still in beta mode. I tried it. If you, yeah, Martha, you're talking. I tried Google Opal for automations. You can literally create any app with a prompt. It is not available for Nigeria now. I use the VPN to access it. It's free. Okay, you can create an app that generates posts for you. The same thing that Anything does, even though Anything is paid. I've used Anything, I've used Google Opal. Anything is more complex. It has the ability to create complex structures, complex workflows. All right, but Google Opal it uses the Google ecosystem. So since VO3 is the best for video generation, then it uses Google Gemini as the AI brain to create the post and the content and everything you need. And then the image generation, Google Gemini is actually improving in their image generation. There is Google Banana. Google Banana is a media generation tool. It generates both images and videos, and you can edit it on the fly, more like how Meta AI does. Like it has, when you say create a man on a horse, as it's generating it, you can say, okay, change the leg of the horse to blue, change the hat of the man, and you are seeing the thing changing in real time as you type. It's called Google Banana. You can check it in Google AI Studio, and it's free. That's the thing that scatters my head. Google tools are just for free. Please, if you have not tried it, try it out. Google AI Studio. Search for Google AI Studio. There are so many tools. There's the Google Banana. There is the image effect. There's View3. There's Flow. There's Flow, and there are so many of them. Now, the idea for this is that it makes life easy for you. All right? I'm going to skip to that. Now, I've talked about ChatGPT in passing, but AI is something that you cannot do without. You need to automate your process of creating proposals, sending it, presenting, signing, and then creating content. Most of the work we will do as freelancers is writing proposals, pitching it to clients, demos, and then signing of contracts. Most of these things can be handled by our language models of AI. ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, etc. They help you with proposals and ideas. They help you craft. You don't need to stress yourself. Somebody asked me for a proposal to live stream recently. Wanted to cover a program, and then he needed the proposal. I have given him the breakdown, but he said I should put it in writing. I quickly went to one of these AI tools, and then I generated it. From there, I took it to Gamma AI. I made the presentation, and in 3 minutes, these AI tools increase your productivity. So you don't need to worry your head over something that would have taken 3 to 4, 5 hours in the past. Canva. I love Canva. All right. I love Canva so much. I've been using Canva Pro for close to 4 years now. And I pay. Even though there are sometimes that I found a way. Don't even ask me how. So, but Canva AI has been a blessing to my life. I have made so much money from Canva AI that it has covered. I said, if I had ever spent the times when I was spending money on Canva AI, it has covered it. Why? Because They have AI integrations. Canva is working tirelessly, adding so many things. Canva was first a design tool. Now it's used to edit video. Canva can create websites. Canva can create documents and collaborate just the way Google Docs work. Canva can do anything. Canva can change somebody's face. Canva can enlarge picture. Canva can brighten. Canva can restore. Anything you can think of in this life. Canva has text to speech. Canva has text to video. Canva has text to idea. Canva can do. Okay. So let me quickly get up myself. Canva has the ability to auto design. It can create so many things for you. And it has so many AI integrations that make Canva a powerhouse for any freelancer out there. You should be using Canva. It can scale. It can give you ability to create drafts, and it is supported. Now, for tracking your time and contract security, you need PandaDocs and DocuSign for signing of signatures and contracts. Clockify helps you to track your time. You know, you can be absorbed. I had a friend, right? I mean, she's a social media manager. Each time she goes to post, so after posting for maybe the first page, she goes on Facebook to post, she will begin to watch videos. And before she will remember to go on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, she has spent so many hours before she could recover herself. We have tools that keep you on the clock, keep you on your feet, makes you keep track of time. Clockify does that for us. Okay, Bitwarden is a password storage system. Google Chrome also have a password manager where you don't need to stress yourself with remembering passwords. Yeah, I was at some point I was using one password for every of my logins, but then somehow that password was hacked, and then Google flagged it as one of the passwords that has been leaked in the online database of leaked passwords. So instead of stressing myself remembering password or creating a pattern to remember password, I just use the password suggested for me by Google Chrome and then save it in the password manager. As long as I have access to my Gmail, I have access to it's safe. It saves me time, it saves me stress. Now, I am going to be rounding up now because of my time. I'm so sorry I'll not be able to take everything I have. There are so many tools. I will drop links to them maybe later in the subsequent meetings. But I want to say this, for everybody that is a freelancer, right? I need to talk about this. You must be able to package yourself. You see, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a web developer, I'm a social media manager. What is your price? My friend, mentor, Emmanuel, he asked me sometime, he said, if I have 500,000 naira, or if I have 5 million naira, do you have a product? I am a customer. I have 5 million naira. I want to patronize you. Do you have a product that is worth 5 million naira? Do you have a product that is worth 500,000 naira? Or are you a pay as you go or negotiate as you come kind of freelancer? So if you are a freelancer, you must be able to have packages. Sometimes during February, people begin to create Valentine packages, all right, and put a price tag on it. Put a price tag, put a value on it. I'm saying this in out of experience. Many freelancers struggle with this. If you're not able to create an offer, creating an offer is the second most difficult thing as a freelancer after coming up with idea. Idea is the most difficult. When you get the idea, you have the skill, right? But what will I use this skill to do? You've learned graphic designing, you've learned web development, you've learned SEO. How do I package this thing in such a way that it will be appealing for my clients? And I like what Ebuka, I don't know why I keep referring to Ebuka. It was because that was when I joined. He said, don't reinvent the wheel. Look for what high performers, people in your field are already doing. Duplicate it, copy. Nobody will punish you. Copy and pass in Jesus' name. You must be able to duplicate, look for offers that people have created, and then mirror your own after that. I think this is where I will draw the curtain on this presentation. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Gideon, Mr. Favor. Thank you. I'm just worried you don't have lots of time. I know you have so much more to share with us, but we can as well get your slides over to our audience.
Yes, of course.
So that
yes.
At least you were so much in a rush, and I know some of them will not get what you were saying appropriately. Thank you so much. But before you rush to your other meeting, let me just drop this one question for you. You can do this real quick. As technology continues to shape freelancing, how can freelancers future-proof themselves against disruption? Did you get that?
Yes, very simple. As technology is rushing, rush with technology. You must be able to upscale, update yourself. Don't be listening to tech news. Be in the ecosystem. Don't allow things to come out. I was mentioning VO3 that is like the best. I was still talking about VO3. Another one came out. These tech updates come out so frequently that if you are not on your toe, if you are not on the lookout, right, you may not. How will I put it now? You may be left behind. Okay, so actively search for them. What is the latest? What is this? What is the best? There are so many people writing about these things. If you go on YouTube, if it is released, say 2 hours ago, so many people, bloggers, YouTubers, people like Gideon, will be talking about it. They'll be speaking up. So be in the lookout, subscribe to channels like that, follow people like Mata that are talking about tech, they are talking about AI automations. Then be on the lookout. So listen to their reviews, and then you will be in loop with these tech things, and then have the patience to try it out. Have the patience to try it out. Because I was saying that people will attend class and then they are too busy to try it out, so they'll just go and pay for the services here. That's true. So, but if you can have the patience, I play with some of these things. Even though in my free time, I play with them, I test them out, and I'm able to use them for my own businesses. I hope I answered that question. Martha, can you hear me? Fantastic. Martha, I'm done speaking. If you can hear me.
Can you all hear and see me? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Favor. That was a wonderful session. A wonderful one that, in fact, it will go a long way. If we have genuine freelancers who mean business in this session today, they have a lot to help them scale. They have a lot of information. here today, then I don't know what you're doing in freelancing, because I can say for sure that they've given you the knife and given you the yam. It's there for you to cut it and cook it for yourself, right? So just I am so sorry for that. I'm so sorry. I'm battling with my network right now, but thank God we are coming to a close say, and I know everybody here present have gotten value. So it's left for you to make use of what you've gotten. So we won't have time. We'll spend so much of time with just eating out of our time. So I won't spend so much time going ahead to repeat all what the speakers have said. So this video is always here on YouTube. You can you can just comment, subscribe on the channel. You can come back to watch this video. Any section you miss, you can come back and watch it and get all the information you missed, right? So I am so happy that we're able to do this today. My special thanks is going to my speakers. You guys are awesome. You're wonderful. I'm super proud of you all, and I trust you to deliver, and you did. You know, for my hand, none of you guys put my hand. So thank you so much. Thank you. I am very happy that we could do this together and you all delivered. And I'm sure our audience are happy about this section, right? So it's just an incredible start to the business of freelancing webinar. We've heard from mentors, marketers, we've heard from media entrepreneurs, and the message is clear. Freelancing is not a side hustle, right? It's a scalable business. And if you're ready to scale in this career as a freelancer, you have to be very intentional. You have to be very intentional in doing more than you are doing right now when it comes to your gigs. So there is a lot to do. There is a lot to implement. You have to learn, keep learning. You cannot be an expert and you say, okay, oh, I've known too much. Learning is very important. You may learn something today and it's not like you need it for anything, and tomorrow you come across a situation where that knowledge can be applied. It's called transfer of learning. You can learn something here and transfer it to somewhere else tomorrow. That it will be very important. So keep learning, keep upskilling, make use of AI tools, make use of your search, SEO, right? Make use, if you create content, please don't ignore the fact that your analytics part of your platforms are very important. That's how you know if you're giving value to your viewers. That's how you get feedback from your viewers without them directly talking to you, right? So tomorrow is another day, and we are going to continue strong, right? We work with more practical strategies, with more system. We have an expert in virtual assistant hub. We have an expert in digital transformation. So you are going to be receiving a lot more value in addition to what you've gotten today. I don't know why others didn't sign up, but if you're here presently, you would tell that you have achieved so much value. So invite somebody to invite somebody. Tell a friend to tell a friend that it is happening here. Share this link, share the link to the community for tomorrow's program, and please subscribe to this channel. You will always have this in this channel, so you can come back to watch it. We are organizing programs like this all the time, so you don't miss out. And also, I am creating content on related issues: freelancing, webinar, AI, and even personal growth. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of this, right? So as we are signing out today, here is the quick call to all of us. What you've actually heard all in one today can be built into a course or an ebook. So you don't need benefit a lot following them. You benefit from their knowledge, from their content. You can reach out to them for one-on-one guide. If you have any challenge, if you have a job, a gig, you can share with them. You need somebody to do anything for you, you can reach out to any of them. So I'm going to share their handles in the community, so they will be available to attend to you whenever you call. Thank you all once again. I appreciate your presence here, and I do not take this for granted. In as much as this is a webinar and it's free, I am so much happy that we all as a group can influence another group of people out there. At the end of the day, it's not about how much knowledge you have, it's how your knowledge can help another person. It's not about how much money you have, it's all about who your money can help and how many people you can help with your money. That's what brings true fulfillment, right? That's what leaves legacy behind when you are no more. So please, I'm going to emphasize on the course and the ebook, right? Information on this will be shared more in the comment section. We have the course on the business of freelancing, and we have an ebook on the business of freelancing. So you'll be getting all these contents you've gotten and more. You can join the wait list if you find this very interesting and you will want to get in depth with it. I will share the link to the wait list in the comment section. Thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp. Amazing moment, and I know I didn't enjoy this moment alone. So if you actually enjoyed this moment, let me see your favorite emoji in the comments. Please don't leave without dropping your favorite. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. For now, we say bye. Bye.